Hey everyone, welcome back. Okay, look, I've been a little bit of a mess, but I am back to finally finish off what Proposition 50 means for Democrats and Republicans here in California, the 5 seats that will potentially be changed or swayed in the 2026 midterm elections next year. Okay, let's go ahead and wrap this up from where I left off with that was in my last video was Chico Representative Doug LaMalfa. So the next Republican incumbent, here's what will happen to this third individual because there are 5. So there are 5 GOP Congress members who now face steep odds to re-election and are more likely to lose their seats after next year's midterms. Okay, so these are the 5 Republicans. In my last video, I gave you the first 2. That was Rockland Representative Kevin Kiley and then a Chico Representative Doug LaMalfa. The third one will be Corona Representative Ken Calvert, and according to CalMatters.org here, Representative Ken Calvert will have to decide whether to run in a primary against a fellow Republican after his Riverside County district moves completely. He'll instead be in the safe Republican 40th district held by Representative Young Kim. And then we have Hanford Representative David Valadao. So Valadeo's district in the Southern Central Valley will become slightly more Democratic and stretch closer to Fresno. That's where I was born and partially raised, okay? But I also claim Dina as well. To continue here, the race could still be competitive for Valadao. The Republican has held onto his seat despite a Democratic registration advantage, according to CalMatters.org here. And this article excludes the glare in my glasses, y'all. But look, we don't have glare-proof glasses, so you girls who are perfectionists, you girls are just going to have to deal with it. Now, the next Republican representative on this particular list with CalMatters.org is the Escondido representative. Escondido is a city here in California. Representative Darrell Issa. So Issa's Eastern San Diego County district will lose conservative pockets, and gain liberal voters in the Coachella Valley. He said Tuesday night, and that was November 4th, election night, Tuesday night, that he's not quitting. So he will run again and he is not going to give up, that seat without a fight. So in my next video, I will get into what this means for the Democratic representatives who are the 5 GOP members, who will, due to Proposition 50, they will most likely be okay. All right, and I'll get into that in my next video. Thank you for watching. Drop down below and it cut off on me. But anyways, drop down below and let me y'all know what you think about this Prop 50 situation in California. Are you excited about it? Are you not? Drop down and let me know. Now, let's get into this federal lawsuit, okay? The lawsuit was filed November 5th by California Republicans, according to multiple sources. I am referring to sources PBS and CNN for this here. But that did happen, and what is significant about today is that the Department of Justice has joined in on that particular lawsuit against Proposition 50. And according to multiple sources here, I'm going to look down because I am reading. This federal lawsuit was filed against California Proposition 50. That involves the state's new congressional maps, the whole redrawing of the districts. And basically, the U.S. Department of Justice, DOJ, has joined in on this challenge to block Proposition 50. So the Trump administration, they are wanting to block Proposition 50. And the lawsuit, which includes an earlier challenge from state Republicans, the one I just mentioned, argues the new maps constitute illegal racial gerrymandering, a violation of the Constitution's Equal Protection Clause. The plaintiffs. So the lawsuit was initially filed by California Republicans and has now been joined by the U.S. DOJ. I just said that. The claim, once again, is that the core of the challenge is that the new congressional district map is a form of racialized racial gerrymandering, meaning it uses race to draw districts in a way that allegedly violates the Constitution. Now, what's so interesting about this is that this is a side note here. In Texas, before Gavin Newsom brought up this idea, excuse the glasses, before Gavin Newsom brought up this particular idea, that was happening in Texas, right? In Texas, they wanted to redraw the maps without black and brown voters. They didn't want those voters in those districts to have power. So that's what was happening in Texas before Proposition 50 was even thought of. Once Trump announced that he would withdraw those maps in Texas, that's what motivated Newsom to do this, okay? So it's interesting how they're basically filing this lawsuit and basically making it a racial thing now when that's what they were doing initially. Now, the legal basis of this is the plaintiffs are invoking the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment and the principle that race cannot be used as a proxy to advance political interests. Now, the goal on the plaintiffs' end, that's the California Republicans and now the DOJ, the plaintiffs are seeking an injunction to prevent the use of the new maps in the upcoming 2026 election because they know with those maps that it's going to be on and cracking. Now, this legal action is a part of a broader national political and legal struggle over redistricting after the 2020 census, with the California case seen as potentially influencing control of the U.S. House of Representatives in 2026. There you have it. I'm done talking about this. And if you watched, I really appreciate you. Check out my YouTube channel. Thank you. Now, according to this calmatters.org article, Proposition 50 and what it means for Democrats, right? We're talking about the 5 Democratic House incumbents. With Proposition 50 passing, those 5 Democratic House incumbents will see and are seeing their districts grow safer under Proposition 50. They will be safer in next year's midterm election. Those 5 representatives, the first will be Rep. Josh Harder. He is a Stockton Democrat of Stockton, California. He was swept into Congress during the 2018 Democratic wave, and he has held onto his Stockton-based seat despite being a constant target for Republicans, right? He has been a perpetual target for Republicans, but he has remained. The next representative will be Representative Adam Gray of Turlock. He had the closest 2024 House race in the country. With more Democratic voters from Stockton, it will be much easier for him to hold the seat next year. And that's Representative Adam Gray. The next on the list, according to calmatters.org, will be Representative George Whitesides of Santa Clarita. He represents, according to calmatters.org, the northern Los Angeles suburbs in the 27th district that have grown gradually more liberal. His new seat brings in more Democratic voters from the San Fernando Valley. Okay, so he will also be hopefully in a good standing next year. Next on this list is Representative Derek Tran, who I also interviewed for a story a few weeks ago. He was so kind. Check out ourweekly.org. That's ourweekly.com. That's who I actually report for and write for. Okay, back to the video. So we have Representative Derek Tran of Cypress. He should have an easier time defending his seat in the heavily Asian 45th district, which straddles Orange and Los Angeles County. So he's right at the border of Orange County and Los Angeles County. That's the 45th district, predominantly known for Cypress, right? The Cypress area. Next on this list, who I also had the chance to interview, was Representative Dave Min of Costa Mesa. Mr. Dave Min here of Costa Mesa, he won his 47th district seat by fewer than 3 percentage points last November. The new gap shifts his district away from Huntington Beach and Newport Beach. Okay, so that's the update on him. So while numerous Democrats have been running, assuming the new maps would apply, several are poised to switch districts now. And that would be Representative Amy Barrett in Sacramento County will shift from the 6th district to challenge Kiley in the 3rd district. In turn, Dr. Richard Pan, a prominent former state senator who had already declared a challenge against Kiley, said he will now run in the 6th district. And then after that, we have 2 candidates challenging Calvert in his current district. That's the Republican Ken Calvert, who I mentioned in my last video. Those 2 individuals challenging him, those 2 candidates will be Brandon Riker and Anuj Dixit. Both of them have said that they will instead challenge Issa in the newly drawn 48th district, okay? And with all that being said, last week I want to close this out here, and we're gonna be done with this, I promise. And then we'll get to the fun. Stuff, okay? We'll get to the Tamars of it all because I kind of dropped the ball with the fun reporting. But the California Republicans, they did file a federal lawsuit against Proposition 50. Now, a day after Proposition 50 was approved, November 5th, literally, a federal lawsuit was filed by California Republicans. And as of November 13th, which is today, the Department of Justice, that's the DOJ, they have also joined in on that lawsuit, and I will get a little bit into that in my next video. Then after that, I will record some fun stuff. I'll probably just give opinions tonight because I'm behind on my Braxton tea, okay? Because Tamar been cutting up on the Braxtons, y'all, and I've been wanting to share my opinion about that and a few other things, so I will get into that. All right, just stay tuned for my next video here as I get myself together.